15 sacrifices you need to make for getting abs. Have you ever been on social media and not seen a post where someone is showing off their abs? Do you feel inspired to get your own set of abs after seeing posts like these? For most of us, the answer would be a definite yes. But to get there, there are many sacrifices you have to make. Are you ready to sacrifice certain things to achieve that chiseled look? If you answer yes for the second time, then keep watching. We'll let you know exactly what sacrifices you're going to have to make in order to achieve well-defined abs. Having a goal in sight and the determination to achieve it is certainly a good place to start. But as we all know, dreaming is always much easier than actually doing. Therefore, check out these 15 sacrifices and ask yourself, are you ready to have your very own abs to be proud of? Number 1. Slacking around. Speaking of dreaming is much easier than doing, the harsh reality is that abs will not, unfortunately, appear on their own without any input from you. So you've got to focus super hard on what it is that you want, which in this case is having your own set of defined abs. Start off by going through your daily things to do list and lose anything that isn't going to help you achieve your goal. With the right mindset and levels of commitment and determination, you'll be ready to move on to the next parts of the process. Number 2, the ability to eat anything you want. If you're determined, it will be much easier for you to say goodbye to all that junk food and sodas. It's one of life's biggest injustices that the food and drink we tend to enjoy the most will make the numbers move in the wrong direction when we step on the scale. Eating anything that increases your current weight is certainly not going to help in the journey towards becoming ab-fabulous. As an alternative, try cooking your own food. You'll know exactly what you're putting into your body and can actively avoid anything that isn't going to support your quest. An added bonus is that you'll also move around more while cooking rather than lounging about waiting for the delivery guy to show up. But if you really don't have time to cook for yourself or are okay with spending extra money, there's nothing wrong with ordering healthy or low-calorie foods. Number 3, money. Sort of related to the previous point, you may need to spend money on the abs you want. Healthier ingredients often cost more than their less healthy counterparts, and then there are also the times when you feel that you absolutely need the specific equipment and space only the gym can provide, so there's a membership cost to consider. Strict eating patterns and exercising without results may even lure you down the supplements route, which again can be very expensive. It's easy to spend a lot on achieving the look you want. Number 4, late-night comfort snacks. Simply limiting what's going in your stomach isn't really enough. Some studies suggest that eating late at night can increase the likelihood of developing various health issues, things like obesity, heart problems, or even some forms of cancer. You won't want to deal with the former when working on your abs, let alone the last two. Eating in the middle of the night is a common option when we're bored or have trouble falling asleep, but it's much better if you can eat a few hours before bed. Number 5, alcohol. In levels that are still reasonable, alcoholic drinks can actually be a part of an ab-forming diet, but always be aware that excessive consumption of alcohol can interfere with your health and dramatically affect your waistline. A recent study conducted by the NCBI of 11,289 people showed that even drinking more than 2 glasses of alcoholic drinks in one sitting had the potential to increase your levels of belly fat. Excess belly fat is definitely something you do not want when you're trying to develop your abs. Number 6, casual exercise. Say goodbye to your casual, easy exercise and say hello to a new, rougher, more difficult routine you have to follow. If you don't exercise hard, how else can you expect to see your abs? The simple fact is that to get abs, you're going to need to exercise more, if you have been, consistently and at a sufficient level of intensity. Obviously, this requires a high degree of discipline. The exercise requirement may need to increase depending on what you want to do with your abs. You can, of course, ease up a little if you're starting to like what you see, but don't forget, if you want to keep what you've worked so hard for, you really do need to keep your foot on the pedal. This, of course, is an individual preference. Are you thinking of abs as a one-time goal, or do you see them more as a lifelong commitment, something that has to be continually maintained? Number 7, daily energy level. If you follow your training regimen, your abs will start to reveal themselves slowly. There is a bit of a downside to this, which is that your abs are starting to show because your level of body fat has fallen. So where's the problem? Well, reduced body fat can make you feel lethargic and hungrier. The body burns fat for energy, and less fat means less fuel for the fire. But as long as you don't intend to sculpt abs like a competitive bodybuilder, this won't really be an issue. Just make sure to eat enough and choose well when you're hungry. Number 8. At-will hours of sleep. While it's good to sleep once you feel tired, scheduled sleep is necessary to maintain your body's metabolism. That's the engine you need to burn fat around those abs. So set your sleeping schedule and try to go to bed and get up according to that schedule every day. The good thing is, once you start working out hard, your body will eventually get tired. This results in a good night's sleep. If you are very busy and don't have time to spare for a daily workout, cutting back on your sleep for a little while may be the answer. Wake up 1 to 2 hours earlier than usual so you can use this time window as best as possible to practice at the gym on a daily basis. Number 9. Less to no screen time. While cutting back on your sleep can be necessary, a good night's sleep should not be sacrificed. Using a smartphone or watching TV just before bed is a bad habit many of us have. But similar to the previous point, you might have to reduce and even break away from this habit. Especially if you're one of those people who train before or after work, avoid this habit 30 to 40 minutes before bed. Playing on a smartphone or watching TV before bed will expose the body to excessive light. As a result, it will be difficult for your body to produce the melatonin needed to help you fall asleep. Go to sleep when it's time for bed. You're going to need all your energy for another day of working on those abs. Number 10. Social life. When you have a specific fitness goal, it's not uncommon to forget about downtimes and focus solely on your training regimen. Even if you have some free time to socialize, chances are that you will be resting after all that training. But don't forget that as humans, we're social animals and need some interaction. There's nothing wrong with putting in a little time so that your family, friends, or soulmates don't forget you exist. If you want to hit 2 birds with 1 stone, try getting your friends or family to practice with you at the gym. Just make sure you don't get distracted if you decide to do this. Number 11. Your other hobbies. Do you have time-consuming hobbies? If so, you might have to say a temporary goodbye to them during this ab chase. If you can split your time between practicing, pursuing hobbies, and other activities, of course, that's great, but it's back to your priority scale. If you feel that your hobby is time-consuming, it's a good idea to take a break for a while until the abs appear under your shirt. Number 12. Time. As mentioned earlier, abs don't appear overnight. You will need to invest a lot of time, mainly at the gym, to get the results you are looking for. There's no getting away from the fact that you'll miss out on other, maybe more interesting things, so it's important to strike the right balance. You'll never get time back, so you need to determine what takes priority to do the things you want to in the time you have. Number 13. Pride. Many of us don't realize this, but pursuing the ideal body shape means that you've already admitted that your current body isn't good enough, right? Remember that admitting weakness is not a bad thing. Ultimately, we'll all need to acknowledge the problem at hand before working on the solution. Number 14. Other people's views of you. During the process, it is not uncommon to hear comments like, "What are you doing that for? Why don't you spend more time with us or me? What's your purpose in doing this?" and so on. Trust us, as long as you know this is what you want, keep your ears closed to the doubters. Number 15. Perfectionism. Isn't trying to get abs an effort to achieve perfection in itself? Maybe, but you don't have to try to be perfect on your way to achieving it. Simply put, try to be disciplined in your journey to the abs of your dreams, but don't forget to balance that effort with other, no less important aspects of your life. There will be times when you want a 4-cheese pizza or to party until you pass out. Do it for sure, but don't lose sight of your main goal. Realize that being perfect is almost impossible. Admit that every now and then you will stray a bit. Just make sure it doesn't happen every day. Get a picture in your mind of the abs you want. Use every opportunity you get to work on your stomach muscles. Stay away from anything that has the potential to add fat to your body or make you generally unfit. It's best to make a certain plan of how long you need and what you have to do to get those abs. Make your own plan that caters to your need, ability, and preference. That said, never forget that in the end, you're only human. There is absolutely nothing wrong with pursuing other interests that might be considered taboo in the process of sculpting abs. Feel like a burger or a donut? Go for it. Feeling lonely after spending too much time in the gym? Get out of there and meet your family or friends. Just make sure you can balance your primary needs with your desire to produce abs.